Once, there was a man with 4 faces. He had just emerged out of a golden egg. No, really. This man sat down thinking, who am I? What's happening over here? He saw around, there was nothing. No earth, no world, no stars, nothing. Just empty space. He pondered with his 4 heads, chatting, thinking what to do, what he should do, who's he? So he decided to go into deep meditation. As he was in deep trance, an idea, a thought, influenced by powers perhaps higher than him, told him to create. And so he did. He created the physical universe, the stars, the world, the earth, the fire, whatnot. Then he created the plants, the animals, the insects, and us, you and me. From an empty space, that great man transformed it into a world teeming with life. You may have guessed that this story is from some religious scripture. Yes, it is. That man is none other than a god of creation in Hinduism, God Brahma. And the story of creation that I'm telling you right now, it's not just about creating worlds. It's about the fact that something amazing can stem out of a single idea. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sanat Malhotra, and today I'm going to raise a toast to ideas with all along with you. As I'm an author, I love telling stories. That's one thing I know how to do. I'm going to tell you another one. This time about a real human being, Dr. Barry Marshall. Barry Marshall was a doctor in the 80s who had a radical idea that stomach ulcers were not caused by stress or spicy food, but by bacteria. But it went against the medical understanding of his time. So he couldn't convince his peers. You know what he did? He took a dish, filled it with bacteria, and drank it. Crazy, right? Barry was fine. Don't worry about him. Barry actually won a Nobel Prize, and his idea revolutionized the treatment of stomach ulcers. So we know an idea can lead us to a Nobel Prize. It can change medical science. So the million-dollar question is, what stops us from making our ideas a reality? I'm going to talk about 3 barriers, just 3, that stops us, that presents itself as an obstacle in the way of our ideas. The first is fear. Fear of criticism, fear of failure, fear of the unknown. Those whispering doubts in your mind. Ever heard of Percy Spencer? Percy was a doctor. Percy was working in his laboratory one day, and he was working with radar equipments. As he was experimenting, the chocolate in his pocket, it started melting. He realized it's not hot outside, but then why is it melting? It was because of the microwave radiation coming out of the radar. He had a brilliant spark inside. I'm going to go home and make microwave popcorn. No, seriously. Percy was the first person to make microwave popcorn. But there were legitimate fears. Microwave, it's a military tool of destruction. Can it be used in the kitchen? Can it be used to cook food? But Percy's curiosity triumphed over his fear. He tested from popcorn to eggs and eventually created the world's first microwave oven, making lives of our moms, dads, you, me, and everyone who is in a hurry to eat their food so much more easier. The second obstacle that I'm going to talk about is resources or lack thereof. William Kamakwambi, a young teenager in Malawi, Africa. William lived in a village decimated by famine. One day, as he was sitting in his library, he came across a book on wind energy. His love for electronics drove him from scrapyard to junkyards, looking for old bicycle parts, a tractor fan, and whatnot. Somehow, reading that book, he put all of that together and built his very own windmill. But that just wasn't any windmill. That windmill powered not just his father's radio, not just the lights of his house, but it drew drinking water of his famished village. It transformed the whole community. Perry became William became a global sensation. I heard a story on TEDx. He's a perfect example how ingenuity can triumph over lack of resources. The final and the most brutal enemy, in my opinion, is resistance. Of those people who tell us we can't do this, or the internal skeptic in our mind telling us we're not the one to do this. I'll tell you a story about another doctor, Ignaz Semmelweis, a Hungarian physicist. He was faced with a major problem. Young ladies in the maternity ward were dying of childbed fever. He observed that the doctors were going from one ward from doing surgeries to delivering babies without even washing their hands. Sounds shocking, right? This was the 18th century. So he proposed a solution. He told the doctors, look, you got to wash your hands, disinfect it with chlorine, and then you can go and examine the young mothers. Sounds reasonable? No. He was mocked. He was ridiculed. They made fun of him. Eventually, he was kicked out of the hospital. Sad. But it was only decades later when Semmelweis's contributions were validated, when germ theory became more profound in the world, and he became a pioneer of antiseptic procedures. Now, you may have heard these 3-4 stories of how ideas can change the world, but does your idea really have to change the world? No, not in my opinion. A few years ago, me, my father, my mother and brother, many years ago actually, I shifted from New Delhi to Hyderabad. I had just failed my CA Inter exam. I was very young. I had nothing better to do, so I went and watched a movie. It was a Bollywood movie, and it had a huge cast. The movie was about Islamic terrorists. No, the movie did not do very well at the box office, but I was intrigued. Who are these people? What's making them go around killing innocents, bombing places, and even sacrificing themselves? What's driving them? I was very curious. So I did some research. I'm a devout Hindu, by the way. I read the Quran. I read the Hadiths. I went deep into international politics. And eventually, this gave birth to my book, my first novel, Jihad. But I believed that my book would change the world. It would change the way people looked at these so-called terrorists. I wanted to bring a fresh perspective to solve this problem. But nothing of that sort happened. Something even more important happened. My father, who had been facing setbacks, failure after failure, financial problems, my failure, my brother's failure. When I told him I had written a book, he didn't care what it was about. It did not bother him. He did not even read it. But I saw a smile on his face after so many years of problems, so many years of being stressed. I saw that he felt proud of his son, that his son had done something, even that success was small. I'm glad I could give him that because 8 months later, my father passed away. So your ideas may not change the world, but it can certainly change your world. It can bring a positive impact on the people you love and those who love you. As I draw to a close, all I'm saying is that idea, that thought that you kept it aside for, someday, please take that one step towards making that reality. Your ideas are your mark on this planet. It's a symbol of your being. Thank you, everyone. Let your ideas come to action.